guys, welcome back. My name is Jessie and this is Crochet in Christ by Jess. So before we get to the video, I just wanted to wish everybody a happy new year and I hope everybody had an amazing Christmas holiday wherever you were at. I hope that you guys were filled with love and family. So this video is going to be about where have I been? It's nothing special. And my 2025 recap for my small business, Crochet in Christ by Jess, and what my goals are for 2026. So let's get into that. First, I'm going to talk about where I've been. So essentially, what ended up happening is I think I wore myself out. I just had goals of doing social media, doing my markets, and I don't know, I think I just wore myself out to the point to where I couldn't focus on both. So I just took a step back from uploading videos and just concentrated on my health. Nothing like major is going on. I think I just wore myself down. I was getting sick every month. I'm actually in the middle of taking medication for an ear infection that caused vertigo. If anybody has ever had vertigo, it is terrible. I've never had it this bad before. Like I've gotten dizziness, but I'm pretty sure I have a really bad inner ear infection because the vertigo started before any other symptoms did. So absolutely terrible. But that's just where I've been. I've just been kind of focusing on getting my markets done and my family, just making sure that my kids are taken care of. It was the beginning of a new school year for them, so that's just what I've been doing. I've just been focusing on everything else. So that's just where I've been. So thank you for those of you who reached out and just checking on me. I really appreciate it. So again, like I said, nothing special. I've just been kind of taking it easy. But this year is the year that we are going to do much more. And I'll go over that in my 2026 goals for the year. So, what you all are probably here for are my 2025 results. So, last year was the first year that I went calendar year, so from January to December with my small business and going to markets and all of that. I started in August of 24. So I didn't really have a good year baseline, but that's what we're going to go over today. So if you see me looking down, like off the camera, it's because I'm looking at my results. So first off is we're going to go over my top 5 profitable markets that I had last year. I did a total of 15 markets, and then we're going to go over all of my overall results. And I think I'll put them here or here. We'll see. You'll know where they're going. So in 2025, I made a total of $4,914. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot for me, considering I've never done anything like this before. Excuse me. So that's a lot. That's my total profit. That's not all of my expenses taken out. I didn't do a very good job at the end of the year. So these numbers are guessed a little bit as far as what I've spent. I highballed it just a little bit just because I could say that I spent X amount on my yarn, but we all know that I probably spent more. So starting with yarn, I spent $1,100 in yarn last year, give or take a couple of $100 probably. I did really good at keeping up with it until about August, and then I fell off. So again, that's when the kids started school. I spent $200 on Etsy patterns. Yikes! Oh my goodness gracious, that's ridiculous. But if you, that's less than what, $20 a month I spent on it. That's okay. We're going to have different goals for 2026. And then I spent about $600 on vendor fees and then $300 on like miscellaneous purchases for like my mic, for example. What else is there? Shipping fees, that sort of thing. Excuse me. Sorry. This is my second take of this because it's been so long since I've recorded a video and I watched the last one just to make sure I liked it. Didn't like it one bit, so I'm re-recording. But anyways, so my total profit for 2025 was $2,700. That's money that I didn't have before, so I'm thankful for it. But this gives me a great baseline for next year. So that's my overall. Now, my top 5 markets that I had last year. So we're going to start from 5 and we're going to work our way up to number 1. So number 5 was the Banana Pudding Festival that I did in June. The vendor fee was $120, but I still made $385. Now that's not counting that vendor fee. So it was more like 460 or 260, but we're just looking at just profits here. And it was in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. It about had 150 vendors there. The foot traffic was great. People just weren't buying, and that's okay. Um, I know this is with Brianna Victory Events, and she's not going to that same location next year for her markets. So I may or may not do this one next year, but we'll see. And she has brought her prices down a little bit in some of the markets that she's doing. So we'll see. And then so my number 4 is also a Brianna Victory event. I did in October, and it's in the Hobby Lobby parking lot in a town close to me. Then they call it the Hobby Lobby Fall Market. The vendor fee was $75 and I made $493. So I was still over the $400 mark, which is that's good. That's good because I was hanging out around the $250 mark per market on most of the markets that I've done. So that was very exciting to see that. And then number 2, no, that was 5, 4, 3. Number 3, I can't count backwards evidently. Number 3 is our the Puckett's Spring Fling Market. They have a supply company in Lebanon, Tennessee. They are wonderful people. They they just started doing the markets either last year or the end of the year before, end of 24. But it was at the time was my most profitable market that I made. I did this in April of last year. I about $100 to do that market, $50 vendor fee plus a $50 transient vendor fee that you have to be able to sell within the city limits of Lebanon. I made $626. Love it. I'm gonna go back to this one for sure next year or this year. It's hard to say this year because I can't believe it's already 2026. So number 2 is also the Puckett's, but it was their fall festival, $100 vendor fee, but I made $595. There was only a $30 difference between the two. Great foot traffic, great people, lots of networking, and it was yeah, I love their markets. It's about an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes for me, but it's totally worth going because it's 2 for 2. Like I haven't gone to one of their markets and walked away disappointed. So we'll be going back next year. Those are ones that I'm going to make sure that I book. And so for my number 1 highest profitable market was our Normandy Fall Festival. Normandy is a small town about 45 minutes from me. It's mainly a lake town. I did sign up to do their farmers markets, and I did a lot of those. I say a lot. I did a handful. I only did about once a month. But the vendor fee was $25 for the season. So I made my vendor fee back that first farmer's market that I showed up to. People really aren't there looking for stuffed animals or plushies or anything crocheted for farmers markets, but if people show up with their kids, sometimes they'll tend to buy something for them. So that's nice. Excuse me for a second. The medicine's got me really, it's drying everything up. And so I walked away with all of this profit, and it was $747, and it was an amazing market. I sold out of things that I've never sold out of before. Definitely plan on doing this one again next year. I'm going to sign up for her farmers market and this. So we'll go back over this whenever it's time to talk about my 2025 or 2026 goals. So now my top sales per item. So I've got 11 items here because two tied for number 10. So we're going to start 10, work our way up. So number 10 is the Avery Crafts a Lot per squirrel. I sold 8 of those for $66 profit. And then the realistic axolotl. I don't remember who the creator is for that pattern, but I'll make sure I put it up here. It's either My Universe 64 or it's Mo Designs too. I can't remember which one wrote that one, but I sold 8 of those for 64. Avery Craft a Lot at number 9. So those tied for number 10. So number 9, Avery Crafts a Lot Platypus. I didn't introduce this one until later in the year, and I did a lot of the Perry the Platypus with the hats. I sold the hats separate, but I might not do that next year. I might sell them all together just because it got a little confusing for some people. But I sold 11 of those for $88. And then number 8, I did the Cuddle Buddy with the Lovey. So pretty much what I did is Atomic Crochet. She has a Cuddle Buddy pattern pack that work really well with We Crochet Creations. It's actually her idea with the Loveys. Or that's the pattern that I found. She has it on Etsy. I think both of these are on Etsy. But where the animals hold their hands and there's a blanket that they hold, I combined her pattern and Atomic Crochet's pattern to have a nice like plethora. That's not the word that I'm looking for. But have different types of animals that they are holding the lovey. And so I sold 11 of those for $220. Those are $20 a piece. And then I introduced Oak and Marlowe again later in the year. I've been seeing it. I've been seeing her pattern a lot, and I really liked it. So I bought almost all of her patterns. Which one is it? The baby collection where you make them all babies is sitting in my cart. I'm just waiting to decide if I want to buy it or not. But I said that I wasn't going to buy any patterns this year, so we'll see. But I love her patterns, and they're very popular at my markets. I sold 12 of those for $240, and then I have one of these is a commission. It's not I sold at markets, but mini cinnamon rolls from Little Baby Rory Crafts. I love her patterns. I usually use hers a lot during like the seasonal stuff because she makes a lot of really cool seasonal items. Her avocado is cute. She's all over Etsy and Instagram. I sold 12 of those. And then my small possum, that is just a mixture of all of the possums that I sold this year. I had them priced very similar between $8 and $12. I sold 13 of them. And then this one is number 4. This one surprised me because I don't remember selling this many, but it's okay. So I sold 16 pickles and I sold them $10 a piece. And I sold 16 of those for $160. That was number 4. Blew my mind. So number 3 was another axolotl pattern, and it's my Scarlet Garden crochet pattern. Not mine, but it's the ones that I use off of her pattern. It's a free pattern on Instagram. You should really go check it out. It's a very fast maker, and it's been very popular. I sold 21 of those. I swapped, I think, halfway through the year because the realistic axolotls took a little bit longer to make. But I still like those. I haven't made any of those in blanket yarn. I might try that this year to just make a bigger one. But I sold 21 for $144 profit. And then number 2, not surprising by me at all because these almost sold out. Not every one, but like they when I had a good market, they would almost sell out. Or my dragon rings, I sold 27 of those this year for $203 profit. And then this one also surprised me because I would go long moments of time where I wasn't selling them, and then I would sell all of them. But my blind box or my mystery bags, or mystery boxes. I sold 42 of those for $400 profit, which is amazing. And so I do have some honorable mentions just because they didn't quite make the list. So my skunk that I have, I'll put the creator on here. I do have that one on, I think it's Ribbler. And then my cheeky turtle with a shell. I sold 6 or 7 of those. That's by Crochet. That was really popular. I'm going to try to make some more this year. I have so many ideas for 2026. So that's my recap. It's nothing special. It's just very. I'm not going to tell you what I made in Etsy because I think it's like maybe $200 at most. I think I didn't have a whole lot of sales on there because I wasn't focusing on it right. I was focusing on just pumping out stuff for my markets, and then just not being as successful as I was expecting about the markets. So 2026. So what are we doing for 2026? Number one thing is I'm going to focus on YouTube and my Instagram and my Facebook. I am like contemplating contemplating TikTok, but just saying that out loud makes me sick to my stomach because I'm an older millennial and TikTok is just probably not my jam. It takes a lot for me to do things for just uh, Instagram and Facebook barely and YouTube. So that might be stretching it for me. But social media is going to be number one thing that I'm going to focus on is creating things for my social media. Um, Number two is I want to create 5 patterns this year. I only made one last year, and that was my possum pattern. I want to get it on YouTube for the YouTube tutorial, and I want to get it on Etsy for somebody to purchase the PDF if they'd like. So those are 2 of my goals to do with it. That's the number one thing that I'm going to work on. And then 5 more patterns. What are they going to be? I have no idea. No clue. Because all of the ideas that I have are coming from patterns that I already own. So we'll see. But that's still a goal of mine, and I'm going to really focus on that. And so that and then one more thing is I really want to focus a lot of time on a farm store that I have my items in. I had just pulled them out of the store that I had them in my town, which is close to my town. It wasn't very profitable there. I just pulled them out whenever a lady that I met in a bell buckle farmers market, um, she was opening her farm store. Hi, Miss Karen. She is absolutely wonderful. She reached out to me late December and asked if I wanted to be a part of it. Immediately, yes, because we had discussed it, and I just think it's a great opportunity. So pretty much, I take them there. It's better than my inventory sitting in my closet, right? And so, just in 3 weeks, we've already sold some stuff. People are already talking about it, so it's great. And that's one of the things that I like about markets is networking with people. And I would have never had this opportunity if I wouldn't have already gone to that. If I wouldn't have gone to the farmers market and was a vendor there. And she's such a sweet person. And so, since I'm not going to be doing as many markets, I mean, we just went through my top 5. Those were all over like 350 and up. So I know for sure I'm going to do the Puckets. I know for sure I'm probably going to do the Hobby Lobby one and then the Normandy. So that's already 3 to 4, and I might not have to do any more. And that's okay because I don't want to wear myself out. I don't want to put myself in a similar situation that I did last year where I was just exhausted. And there were days where I just slept. I would sleep. And when we need that sometimes, I did that more often than I probably should have. But anyways, so that is those are my goals for the year. I want to grow my social media. I want to do less markets, but I also want to just um, connect with you guys more and connect with more creators more and learn what I need to do to grow that. And so that's going to be my focus. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for being here and coming back and watching my videos. Um, even though I haven't been putting anything out, like, you guys are amazing. There is one more thing that I want to do for 2026. It's something that I mentioned, I think, in my first one or two videos of 25, because my name is Crochet in Christ by Jess. I'm very passionate about my faith. I know I didn't talk about it a lot in the videos. I want to share that, but not everybody's here for that. People want to look at my plushies, and that's great. But I want to have a place where we can discuss that kind of stuff too on this channel. And so one of my personal goals for 2026 is to read the Bible from front to back. I've never done it. I've read some of the books in the Bible, but I haven't done it from front to back, and I'm studying it. I want to get closer and have a more intimate relationship with Jesus. That's what I'm working on. And so this is going to be backwards. But I'm doing the Bible in a year. It's in 52 weeks, and it's by Kimberly D. Moore. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to share my journey with you guys while I go through this. And I've already started reading some of it, so I've got to film some videos for it. But I also use the Logos app that I discovered by Wise Disciple. I'm not sure if any of you guys watch him. If you have an interest in learning more about your faith, he's really good at just kind of breaking things down and telling you and showing you where to study it. And so I read the Bible. I use that Logos app to help understand some things, because my reading comprehension isn't the best, and the Bible can be a little difficult to read. But if you're interested in that kind of stuff, I'll be posting some of that here soon. Um, but that's it. That's all I've got. I just want to say again, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I just never thought that anybody would ever really want to listen to me talk about plushies and crochet, but this community has been absolutely amazing. If you haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and do so and hit that notification bell, because I am going to be uploading a lot more videos this year. If it's long form, short form, we're doing it. We're doing it. But anyways, you guys have an absolute wonderful day, and I hope you guys' this year has already started off with a bang. God bless.